Hey guys, let me raise one interesting question here. When did humans start thinking about time, and when exactly did they start measuring it with timekeeping devices? Or even better, how important are timekeeping devices such as clocks and watches for society today? Well, most likely, obsession with time is as old as the humanity itself, and there were a lot of ways our ancestors perceived and measured time in order to organize their daily and year-round work routine. Earliest recorded case of humans measuring the flow of time using known 60-sequence system is about 2000 years BC by ancient Sumerians. The Egyptians were the first to divide the day into two equal cycles of 12 hours, and during the day measure time with help of changes in the position of sun, i.e. shadows over time, while during the night they were using water clocks. It is recorded in history that during 325 AD, the ancient Greeks began to use the clepsydra, or so-called time thieves, that measured time with flow of water from one ceramic vessel to another. The markings that were drawn on the inside of the vessel measured hours. However, as the time passed, time machines and clocks evolved and improved a lot, but some models are so amazing and extraordinary, hence they deserve a special attention on this YouTube channel. In order to answer my question, I will not stick to the evolution and basic purpose of watches. This is already well known. Instead, I will present some other aspects of timekeeping importance through the story about very special time measuring devices. This is the story about the most durable, the most accurate, the oldest, made of rarest materials, and the most expensive timekeeping device ever sold. The most durable watch. No, this is not the story about the G-Shock, a shock-resistant and practically unbreakable model of exceptional Casio watches. Actually, this is not the story about that kind of durability at all. This is the story about durability in sense of the amount of pressure and water depth one watch can handle. Although most of new models of watches are waterproof at depths up to 300 meters, Rolex still went one step further with its Deep Sea Special model. Rolex Deep Sea Special went into history when strapped to the outside of a submarine named Trieste reached the deepest point of our planet. This happened not once but twice, first time on January 23, 1960, and for the second time recently during 2012. However, the first dive made the history, and therefore it will be considered in more detail in this video. The deepest place on Earth is located in the Pacific Ocean about 200 kilometers or 124 miles east of the Mariana Islands, and it is known as the Mariana Trench. Mariana Trench is about 2,500 kilometers or 1,584 miles long, with an average width of 69 kilometers or 42 miles. It reaches a maximum known depth of 10,994 meters or 36,070 feet at its southern end at a small slot-shaped valley known as the Challenger Deep. This was the place where Trieste submarine took dive in 1960 and took Rolex Deep Sea Special on its journey to history. The dive that made Rolex Deep Sea Special so unique was carried out, as mentioned, with a submarine named after the Italian city, which was capable of reaching incredible depths of about 11,000 meters. The depth measured by the manometer on Trieste showed incredible 10,916 meters or 35,814 feet. Unfortunately, back in those times, this submarine was not equipped to take photographs during the dive. After being exposed to unimaginable pressure present at depths of almost 11 kilometers, the watch continued to work flawlessly. Precisely, maximum pressure to which this watch was exposed during the expedition was 1086 bars, which is 1071 times more than the standard atmospheric pressure at the sea level. This watch, which has reached history strapped to the outside of Trieste, is now being kept in the collection of Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. In the end, as a curiosity, it is not bad to know the Trieste submarine was built in Italy by a Swiss scientist, only to be operated by the French Navy until 1958, when it was purchased by the United States Navy for $250,000, under whose flag it will take Rolex Deep Sea Special to the bottom of the ocean 2 years later. Now it's time for the most accurate clock. The world's most accurate clocks are of course atomic clocks. Atomic clocks are devices that use a hyperfine transition frequency in the microwave or electron transition frequency in the optical or ultraviolet region of the electromagnetic spectrum of atoms as a frequency standard for its timekeeping element. Atomic clocks are used as the most accurate time and frequency standard, meaning they are selected as primary standards for international time distribution services to control the wave frequency of television broadcasts and in global navigation satellites systems such as GPS. The most accurate of all atomic clocks is located in the National Institute of Standards and Technology in Boulder, Colorado. The first atomic clocks were based on cesium, and they used electromagnetic radiation, which occurs at the transition between two hyperfine levels of the ground state of cesium isotope 133 at 0 kelvins. The first such atomic clock was made in 1955 in the United Kingdom. Since then, atomic clocks progressed so much that they are now considered one of the most precise devices man has ever made. Until recently, atomic clocks had the largest error margin of just 1 second in 30 million years. However, during the 2019, in a nondescript lab at the National Institute of Standards and Technology in Boulder, Colorado, a new clock took the title of world's most accurate. At its heart, a single positively charged aluminum ion trapped in the electromagnetic fields and cooled to near absolute zero sets the clock's tick-tock. The ion has been shaped by nature to absorb a very specific frequency of ultraviolet light, and scientists use it to tune a laser to that same frequency. The steady ups and downs of the laser's light wave, more than a quadrillion per second, mark the passage of time. By improving the ion trap and better characterizing the ion's motion, scientists have reached an incredible level of accuracy. It would take 33 billion years for this timekeeper to gain or lose a mere second. These kinds of clocks have even managed to demonstrate how time slows down as you move faster and speeds up the farther you are from the center of the Earth, exactly as predicted by Einstein's theories of relativity, and all of that in lab conditions, which was only until recently considered impossible. But let's now move to the oldest preserved mechanical clock. There are very old mechanical tower clocks that are still perfectly working, but it is different with ordinary pocket clocks. The oldest mechanical pocket clock preserved to this day is a spherical clock from Nuremberg, Germany, made before almost 5 centuries. It has engraved words on its back: Philip Melanchthon, glory to God, year 1530. To understand how old this watch is, it is necessary to know that only 2 models of watches made before 1550 have been preserved to this day, one from 1548 and this one from 1530. It does not bear the name of the manufacturer on it, although it is known that the place of origin of such spherical watches from that period of time is the city of Nuremberg in Germany, and they are known as Nuremberg eggs. The Nuremberg eggs were early clock watch worn attached to clothing or around the neck. Its oval shape evolved from the original heavy cylindrical brass boxes made in Nuremberg that were several inches in diameter, engraved and ornamented. One winding of the mechanism of this watch allowed the operation of a single cursor from 12 to 16 hours, and it showed time with an accuracy of half an hour. The protective box allowed time to be seen without opening it. This watch was in the possession of the great German humanist and reformer Philip Melanchthon. This model is now being kept in the collection of Walters Art Museum, Baltimore, USA. Let's move to the watch made of rarest materials on Earth. What if I told you that materials this wristwatch is made of are so rare that if you want to manufacture it, you would have to go to outer space and bring a rocket from Moon, or even from Mars? What if I told you that there is the series of 4 watches where each of these 4, in addition to its beautifully done architecture, contains something so special, for example, the average person in a lifetime would not even be able to see? These 4 watches are part of the Meteoris collection of manufacturer Louis Moinet and are currently ranked 3rd in the group of most expensive watches ever sold. The Tourbillon Moon case contains a handcrafted fragment of the extremely rare meteorite Dhofar 459, which is a part of the meteorite that once fell to Earth. So far, about 130 have fallen to Earth, and the Dhofar 459 is several thousand years old. The Tourbillon asteroid enclosure hides a fragment of the handcrafted mysterious Itzki asteroid that originated near the Sun for thousands of years before heading to our planet. Tourbillon Rosetta Stone adorns another extremely rare fragment of the Sahara 99555 meteorite, found to be most probably originating from the planet Mercury. And the 4th magnificent Tourbillon Mars holds in its enclosure a piece of meteorite named Jidat al-Harasis 479, an authentic part of the planet Mars ended up on Earth. It is about 180 million years old. Because of their rarity, meteorites from Mars reach a price of about $1,000 per gram. The price of a single model from this Louis Moinet collection is dizzying $4.6 million. Okay, when speaking about all those millions, now it's time for the most expensive watch ever sold. One of a kind Patek Philippe Grandmaster Scheim reference number 6300A is a model sold for an unbelievable price of 31 million Swiss francs at Only Watch charity auction held on November 2019 in Geneva. Only Watch is a biennial auction of one of a luxury timepieces made by the finest watch manufacturers for research into Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It of course remains secret who was the person that won this auction, auction and bought this watch. The previous record for the world's most expensive watch was Patek Philippe Henry Grave Jr., which was sold for $24 million at Sotheby's auction in 2014. The Grandmaster Chime reference 6300A was created specially for the only watch auction, and it is the only one that will be ever made in stainless steel. It has 4 spring barrels driving 20 complications, including a grand and petite sonnery, a minute repeater, instantaneous perpetual calendar with a 4-digit year display, second time zone, day-night indicator, day-date indicator on both dials, month, year leap cycle, 4-digit year display, and 24 and minute subdial. There are front and back dials which can be changed by reversible locks. The salmon-colored front dial bears the inscription "The Only One." The watch also has a chime alarm function that strikes the time by reproducing the complete tone sequence of the minute repeater, a function never before integrated in a mechanical wristwatch. To protect it against the damage caused by the negligent manipulation, it incorporates isolators that interrupt the flow of power between individual mechanisms or block certain functions while others are active. Patek Philippe originally introduced the Grandmaster Chime in 2014 in a series of 7 pieces to mark its 175th anniversary. It is the most complicated watch Patek Philippe has produced so far. And slowly we came to an end of this video. For the end, let me go back to the question from the beginning. So, are timekeeping devices really that important for us? I would be brave and say no, they are not that important. We might admire some models of clocks because of their unique properties, but what is important is actually time. Time has a different meaning to different people. For some, it either means getting up on time, know when to pray, be on time for school, or when to meet with a dear person. But if you do not have such restrictions in your life, then you do not have to keep an eye on the clock. Instead, I suggest you to keep an eye on your life. Do not let the time control you, but instead you should be the one to control time. You can admire some incredible things like those clocks and watches I just presented in this video, but don't forget you're a warrior and don't forget to fight for your dreams. Don't waste time. Thanks for watching, and if you want more videos on unjustifiably neglected topics, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.